Hello, welcome to the lab technique presentation folder. So this is going to be an assignment for the kind of summative in lab where you're going to present about how to do a lab technique. And so there's going to be a lot of flexibility with what this presentation looks like for you. So the presentation itself is not due until December after Thanksgiving, but in the short term, here in November, I'm going to want some information from you about the presentation. You need to pick what topic you're going to present about, and you're going to need to tell me how you're going to give the presentation, either a pre-recorded video or in person. So we want to just be mindful. Friday, November 21st, that's when I want that information from you by. So if we scroll down to the rest of this folder, you'll see there's a questionnaire. That's where you're going to give me that information. And then there's a bunch of files. So this lab presentation overview, that's like the main overview or piece of information about the presentation. And then parts of that are basically spun out here into individual documents that you might also find useful. So if I open up the lab presentation overview, I can see that this gives a rundown of what you're doing. You need to make an audio-visual presentation. It can't just be you talking. You need to make something or do something. You can make a PowerPoint, that's a common choice. You could do a demonstration, you could make a poster, you could do animations, you could do whatever you want to do. I find that if I give you the flexibility, the presentations end up being a lot less boring. But it can't just be you talking. There must be some sort of visual component. You do not have to demonstrate the technique. You can just make a PowerPoint and talk about that. That's totally fine. If you want to demonstrate the technique, that's fine. Only some techniques can be demonstrated safely. And so whatever it is that you want to do, you're more than welcome to do for that presentation. So if we come down here, there's a topic list. You need to pick one of these topics. It can be any of them, but you need to pick one. So performing ionometric redox titration, using Beer's law. This one, determining exchange reaction, you need to talk about temperature measurements and Le Chatelier's principle. We did both of those this semester. Some of these things we didn't quite do this semester. We kind of did related things. We never actually looked at Beer's law explicitly. We did something related to Beer's law. We did a couple things related to Beer's law. And so you could use that, talk about any of these topics, whatever it is. There are videos where you've watched videos about a lot of these things while doing technique comprehensions, and you can do more of that. And so the idea is you're making a present. You've seen a bunch of other people make videos about how to do a lab technique, and this is where your opportunity to make a video or present in person. So you need to pick your topic among these. And then you also need to pick your format. If you're going to make a video, that's fine. If you want to present in person, we've got some times here. This is the week after Thanksgiving, so I have some times on Monday. I have times on Wednesdays, including times after lab, that final lab period. So if you want to come and do it then, or stick around after then, or come to a lab time for my other classes, or whatever, those are available. So that's what I need by the 21st, your topic, and then your format. If you're going to do video, just say video. If you're going to do an on-campus presentation, you need to pick some slots. You're going to fill that out in the lab technique presentation questionnaire. There's just basically it's a multiple choice questionnaire or multiple choice test or whatever. But really, you just come in, you pick your topic. You'd say I'm going to do pre-recorded or on campus, and then if you're doing on campus, you need to pick the time slots that you want to do. Pick 5 of them. And then I'll fit you in based on where everybody picks. First come, first serve. So you want to fill that out, and that's due again by the 21st. So you got a bit of time. If you have any questions about what it is that you would want to present about or anything like that, I'm more than happy to help with those. There's also, if you want to see just the presentation to the potential topics, just the schedule, you can see a document of just that. It might be easier to reference. There's also a rubric. This is how I'm going to grade your presentation. So I encourage you to look at the rubric. These are the explicit pieces of information I'm looking for in your presentation. This is how I will grade it. I encourage you to look at the rubric and make sure that I have like questions in here, like how could you tell you have been successful? I'm going to ask that question when I'm looking at your presentation. Does your presentation answer that question? That's what I kind of want to see. So I encourage you to use the rubric. There's also, if you're making videos, there's some reference information about how to make videos or links to useful guidance. Otherwise, if you have any questions about anything, don't hesitate to reach out. More than happy to help guide through this. Make sure the presentation's what you want to do. Yeah, it's really up to you what topic you want to give and then what format. It has to be one of those topics from the list, but what the presentation looks like is largely up to you. And then again, the final day to give an in-person presentation, the last day on the slot was December 3rd. And if you're making a video, you got to turn it in by Thursday, December 4th. You're going to email it to me. There's nowhere to turn it in on Blackboard. If you have any questions about anything, let me know. Otherwise, have fun making the presentations and enjoy the rest of your day. Bye-bye.